we can sit, I guess.
Should I come into the frame?
Yeah, please do. I'll just take my thing here. Okay. So, I mean, we've talked about TRE a little bit, but I don't think I've explained the whole thing and what it fully does. So we'll talk about it now. Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll put this here for. Yeah. Thank you. So basically TRE stands, and I think we've talked about that, but tension, stress, and trauma releasing exercises. So what we're going to do basically today is those exercises, but the technique was actually created by Dr. David Berselli. He's a trauma specialist and has worked with trauma almost all his life. And how he came to this practice was that he actually was in war zones before and was bringing people into bunkers when bombs were going off. And he noticed that everyone would contract to protect themselves because they were scared. And obviously when you contract, you kind of protect all your main organs, right? And so he noticed that literally everyone was doing that. And with that, then he noticed that after the contraction was done, after the bomb was done, kids started to shake, but adults wouldn't. And he felt the need to shake in his body, but didn't want to scare the kids. And so he restrained himself, which, I mean, we do culturally all the time. Is like, we have to keep it together. Don't do anything weird. Like if you start shaking, people are going to think you're crazy. And so that's what he was kind of experiencing. And so when he came back home, he started to experience PTSD symptoms. He started to have nightmares at night. He would wake up trembling, shaking. And so he started to dive deeper into that. And he started studying with mammals in the wild. And he noticed that, you know, when you have like, oh, hi baby, when you have a gazelle being chased by a lion, if they actually get away from the lion, then they'll have a moment of tremoring, shaking, getting the stress out of their bodies, and then go on with their days. But as humans, we don't do that. We just stuff it down, and it creates, you know, a bunch of diseases, pains in the body, and all that stuff. So he figured that if the contraction was the mechanism of protection, there was also an opening from that protection, and he found out that that opening to release that stress and that contraction was the tremor. And that's something that we have in our bodies. It's innate. Like, it's not something that you create. It's already there. We just haven't tapped into it. And so I mean, I find for myself, it's been interesting because you kind of have to develop a relationship with that tremor.
For sure.
And as you know, because you do somatic work, it's like a dance, I find. You kind of dance with your nervous system, with your tremor. It's just like a relationship that you're building. And so when I tremor, and I had a bit of a different experience with it. When I first started it for myself, it was like this magical thing that just happened to me. And I was like, oh my God, I need this all the time. And then I started tapping into a little bit more of the stress, and my nervous system wasn't there yet to actually meet with the tremor. So I had to take it down a notch and then come back and rebuild. And so that can happen, and that's totally okay. I think where I want to make sure that we start is we take it gently. And as we learn in our course, what we want to do is we want to build more resilience within our nervous system. And so we want it to feel good. We want it to feel relaxing. And if we hit an edge, we name it, and we be with it. And And if it's too much, then we come back down and we take a break. So it's that dance that we're going to do with the nervous system. Yeah. And for me, what's it's done is like it's helped me so much with my PTSD symptoms, my sleep, my digestion. It just puts me in my parasympathetic nervous system, as you know, instead of being in the sympathetic, always fight or flight. It kind of brings me back down. But it can create that like, ooh, I'm going into freeze or flight or fight, and then we name that, and then we play with it.
Allows you to move through them instead of being stuck in
Exactly. And the tremor will recognize those as well, and you'll feel it in your body. We'll have a conversation when you're tremoring. And I remember one day I was tremoring and I was like, oh my God, my left hand is frozen. Nothing is moving. And then I paid attention to it and it started to melt. It started to move. So it'll be really cool to see what your body does. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And this is the stress barometer that I usually refer to, and I'm sure you might have seen that before. But we're wanting to stay within this range here. So from 1 to 7, and you'll see I'll cue you for the exercises. Okay. It's not only emotional, but it's also physical. Like when we do the exercises, we don't want you to go into, it's not a workout. Yeah. So we don't want to go into burning or pain or anything like that. We want to stay within that range of like 7 out of 10 fatiguing, not working out a muscle, not growing a muscle. And I know that you're used to hardcore physical activity, right? Yeah. So we'll stay within that, and emotions might come up as well, and you want to make sure that we stay within that, and I'll again, we'll communicate and stay within that range, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay, how are you feeling today? Like, how are you feeling, if I say from 0 to 10 on a grounding, what do you feel you're at? 10 being the most grounded you've ever been.
In this moment, yeah, I feel like maybe like a 7 or an 8. Okay. I feel pretty grounded. I was like very in my sympathetic last night because I was going through some stuff with Jay. Actually, like, and it woke me up. Like I didn't sleep very well through the night, but then I just did a lot of my own practices, and then this morning I woke up feeling like very grounded and clear. So I was able to like move through that, but there's like still a residue of it, in my nervous system. But I think because of the contrast of the two, I feel like, I feel very grounded in comparison. So,
nice. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Our goal is to have you more grounded after this.
Yeah.
So
that'd be nice.
That would be really nice.
Yeah.
And as far as like you said, you didn't sleep that well. Like your aliveness, how tired do you feel? How alive do you feel again on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, given like the lack of sleep last night, but also in general, my body is just going through so much, and I kind of just feel this like overall fatigue. So I put like maybe like a 4. Okay. 4.5. Like I don't feel like exhausted, like I can't do anything, but it's like I've been in a marathon.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like I'm in it, and I have the stamina to keep going, but I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll take this as a break.
Yeah.
And yeah. You're like, oh, that's so nice.
That would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Do you have any questions before we start?
Not immediately. I mean, I trust you'll like guide me through the process. It sounds like as we're going through. I think I'm just like open to experience it because I don't really know what to expect.
Okay.
So I'm just open.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I'll teach you all the exercises, and as we go, we keep track of where you are. Good. And if you have any questions, just ask me. Feel free to ask.
Okay. Wonderful.
Okay.
Need to be.
Yeah. Are you gonna tremor with us?
She's like, that'd be great.
I know. Yeah. ankles are so good to like nervous system.
There you go.
Okay,
So,
so I'll ask you to stand up and I'll demonstrate the exercises first.
okay.
And then you do it. So
Okay.
there's 7 of them. So maybe I'll get you to stand up.
Okay.
If that's good. So the first one is to ground ourselves. So and the exercises are quite easy, but if you feel like there's something that doesn't feel right in your body, then we can modify. So the first one is to actually ground, to stretch your ankles and activate the nerve endings in your feet and your toes. So all you want to do is go from side to side. Have a good bend in your knees. We don't want to lock the knees out. And we want to feel the stretch on the outside here and the inside here. And we're going to do this about 5 to 10 times each side while you kind of keep staying in your body and recognizing what's happening and feeling the stretch. So, and then breathing at the same time. So, okay, you can take place.
Okay. So, did you have all 4 corners of your...
Yeah, so basically what you want to feel is the outside and the inside of your ankle being stretched.
Okay.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. Soften your knees just a little bit. And then you kind of want to go back and forth. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable. You just want to feel your feet. Feel the ground underneath you. And like I said, about 5 to 10 times each side.
Sometimes it just took me a little while to even get it. Like, it kind of showed me actually maybe I'm not as, wasn't feeling as grounded as I thought. Yeah, like a 7-8, practically a 10.
Fair enough, and that's why we do that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, where am I at?
Yeah. Okay.
When you're ready, when you're done, you can shake it off on both sides. Shake, shake, shake. Awesome. The second exercise, this is perfect actually, to use. It's just a calf raise. So what you want to do is you want to just go up on your tippy toes and use that to, keep stable, and go back down. Again, this one can happen very quickly because it's a fatigue level and not a burning or pain. So you do that until you hit a 7 out of 10, like I explained earlier, and no more.
Okay.
So once you're done the 1 foot, you shake it up, and you do the same on the other side, and hit your 7 out of 10. And then you shake it up.
Oh yeah, this is bend.
When I first started, because I'm a very active person, just like you are, I was doing this too much because I was waiting for that burn. So I'm very cautious now when I work with people that, so shake it out. That's why I'm very cautious and, not cautious, but aware when I work with people that are used to just pushing.
Right.
Perfect. Shake it out. Awesome. The next one, we want to activate the glutes, kind of stretch the hamstrings. I think you're pretty flexible, but if that doesn't feel great, we'll modify, no problem. So what I usually do is I have my feet staggered, and you're just gonna bend over. And this foot is only used to like as a kickstand, just to stabilize yourself. And what you want to do is you want to have your fingers next to your foot that's in front, and you want to feel your glute activate. So you're gonna sit like you're sitting in a chair. Again, your weight is on your heel, it's not on so much on your back foot. And then you're gonna stretch and relax your neck and go back into the chair, making sure that your jaw and your neck are relaxed. Just like that. And feeling it in your glutes and in your hamstring when you stretch. And once you're done, you shake it out, and then you do the same on the other side. Do you have any questions about this one?
Maybe as I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is a little bit behind, right?
Yeah.
And then bend.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then, sorry, so I'm coming down.
Yep. And then you want, perfect. Your fingers next to your toes, and you want your weight on your heel.
Okay.
And this is just a kickstand. And then when you go down, you want to go down like you're sitting in a chair.
Oh, so this knee bends?
Yes.
So like this.
There you go. Yeah. And you feel it in your glute here when you go back up.
Okay.
And you want to relax your head, relax, your jaw. Do you feel it in your glute?
Yeah.
Perfect. And back up. And you do that until you hit a 7 again out of 10. Perfect. That's great.
Good.
Relax your neck. Yeah. Perfect. That looks great. Awesome. Shake it out. Perfect. The next one is I know, very simple exercises,
Yeah.
but it triggers everything that needs to be triggered to activate the mechanism. I know, it's very interesting. The next one will be the inner thighs. So what you want to do is you want to open your legs as far as you need. And when you start to feel the stretch in your inner thighs, you kind of stop there. And you want to bend forward and relax your neck. And that's going to stretch the inner thighs. You want to take 3 deep breaths here. And when you're done with 3 breaths, you want to turn to one side, and you're going to feel it in your lower back to stretch the lower back here. 3 breaths here. 3 breaths here. And then you put your fingers facing outward. And 3 breaths here. Okay. And then once you're done, just kind of take your time coming up, get the blood pressure, and then you want to shake it out.
Okay. So coming down.
Yep. Do you feel it in your inner thighs?
I should probably come a little. Yeah, now I do.
Okay, perfect. So 3 deep breaths
In the
here.
middle?
Yes. Try to relax your neck and your jaw. There we go.
Doesn't matter if my hands are up here.
Yeah,
again?
up there. And then once you're done the 3 breaths, we're gonna go to one side and then the next. And now you want to feel it on your lower back.
Feel it kind of more through here.
Okay. Can you turn a little bit more to feel it on this?
Like that?
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Right here? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. 3 breaths here. nice. Then the back. Perfect, yeah. Nice. Very nice. Back up slowly. And shake it out. How are you feeling?
Good.
Good, okay. The next one is we're gonna stretch the psoas muscle, and that's where the tremor actually is like from that muscle. So what you want to do is have your feet with shoulder width apart and bend in your knees. And if you've done yoga before, like the back bends, this is not what we're looking for. What we want to do is we want to have our fingers or hands on our hips, like we're putting our hands in pockets.
Yeah.
And we want to push our hips forward. We don't want to have to back bend. It's just the hips, so that you feel the stretch in the front here.
Right. Okay.
So you take 3 breaths here. Then you're gonna turn to one side. You'll feel more of that stretch.
Right.
You want to look over your shoulders or shoulder. 3 breaths here. Same thing on the other side, and then you'll come back 3 breaths here again, and then come back up and shake it out.
So here.
Yeah.
Here.
Bend your knees, perfect. And then, yeah. So you want to start in the front first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 3 breaths here. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel it in the front here? It's a tough one when you're actually flexible.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. There's another modification if
Okay.
you don't feel this enough. You might feel it more when you turn to the side as well.
Okay.
And then turn to one side.
And then hand.
You just leave your hands here just for support. Do you feel it in the front? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now it takes a little bit more when we're flexible. Right. Other side. Yep. And then come back to the middle for another 3 breaths here.
Okay.
Perfect. Slowly come up and shake it. Awesome. Okay. The next one is going to be, this is perfect actually. We're going to be using, yeah, of course. We'll use the wall. It's a wall sit.
Okay.
So, and this one is super important to activate also the tremor, and you might start tremoring here as well.
Oh.
So that's totally normal. You might not. So what you want to do is you want to have your feet far from the wall, and you want to sit down in your chair, and you want to start out at a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Because what you want to do is you want to go from the 5 to the 7, and when you hit the 7, you want to just take a little break. Once you're back down to your 5, you kind of come back, and then you kind of do that for, we're going to do that for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on where you're at. But that's really what you want to track, is the 5 to 7 window. And so once you hit your 7, come back up. And if you start tremoring, that's okay too. If you want to stop it, you just extend your legs and you kind of come back down. And once you're done, you're gonna push off the wall. You're gonna do a forward bend.
Okay.
And just take a few breaths here. And once you're done, you roll up and you shake it out.
Okay. I got everything we need.
I know, it's literally perfect.
Okay, so come into it.
Come into it, yeah.
And sorry, how low? This is good?
Whatever you feel when you hit your 7. If it's too low, yeah, exactly. I don't go very low because I feel it quickly.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a workout. It's like, ooh, I'm feeling fatigued here.
Right.
And so when you hit your 7, you come back up a little bit, take a break, and then go back down.
And am I supposed to take breaths here? Sorry?
Yeah, you can take breaths. You can just stay in your body, see what's happening. Do you feel a tremor?
I think I just feel like kind of like an activation.
Yeah.
In that area.
Perfect.
That's my dishwasher.
It's all good. And even though it's like a harder exercise, you still want to stay relaxed within your body.
Right.
Try to stay relaxed as much as you can. More minutes if that's okay. Yeah, that feels okay. Seems like it's starting a little bit in your pelvis, like there's some stuff
Yeah.
shifting a little bit.
I think too, because I have my nervous system's so conditioned to like network and spinal flow and different that so much awareness in that area is already creating like an activation of,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, you're already open to it and you know already that kind of work, so you feel safer, I think.
Right.
It sounds like. One more minute.
It's very interesting.
What do you notice?
Or just like the buildup of the exercises and like the awareness building through the body.
Very cool.
Like particularly going through what I am right now, all of my energy is up here. Like, so I've been really trying to bring some of that down. So already I feel so much more energy into the lower part of my body, which is really nice.
Nice, that's a very good awareness. You can go back down and hit your 7 again, and once you hit it, just come back up and then you can bend forward. Yeah, a few breaths here, relax your neck and your jaw. Nice breathing. you time. When you're ready, you can roll back up. And shake out. Shake the legs. Awesome. Okay, the next one, we're gonna be on the ground, so that is nice. Yeah. So the first one, very simple, butterfly position. Does that feel good on your body? Okay. So what you want to do is you just want to rest for about a minute. You just take nice deep breaths. Just feel the ground. Feel your body. You can have your eyes closed or open. But we can play with that because I find for myself a big difference between the two. So you're going to relax you for a minute. Once you're done the minute, what you want to do is, again, we're going to activate the psoas muscle. So what you want to do is you want to push through your feet, but you want to actually relax your glutes. So it's not a bridge where you're actually using your glutes. You're actually using this here. And so you're going to stay here for about a minute. The tremor might start here. After a minute, we're going to come down. We're going to take another break. And once you're done the break, depending on how activated you are, we might have to do a second activation. If not, what we are going to do is we're going to lift up our knees by 2 inches 3 times. And so you're going to lift your knees, and the tremor will probably start here, then another 2 inches, and then another one, and then the tremor should be here. Okay. It might be subtle, it might be big. We'll play with it. Okay. And sometimes your ankle might actually not feel so great here. So after the 3 increments, you can actually put your feet flat on the ground, and the tremor will continue. Okay. But we can play with it. We can see, it's your first time, so we'll see how your body responds. Okay. And once you are tremoring, what we want to do is, again, we want to stay within that 7. We don't want to go in that red zone. We don't want to go into being too overwhelmed. Right. We want to keep track. So I'm going to look for cues, but also we'll have a dialogue. So if you feel like it's too much, then what you do is you take a break, and it's really easy. You extend your legs and you actually flex your feet, and that's going to stop the tremor. Okay. If it's still happening, you can just tense your whole body, and it stops it. Okay. So there's no danger. You're always in control. It's involuntary movements, but you're always in control. Yeah. So, and again, keep talking to me if something doesn't feel right. Okay. If you don't feel great, but we're here to let it out. Relax.
That sounds nice. So this for 1 minute.
Yeah. Do you feel comfortable? Do you want a blanket?
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Okay.
It's toasty in here, I feel.
Yeah. Okay. You want to be part of this, don't you?
Hi.
It's very cute. So feel the ground underneath you. Feel your breath. And once you're ready, you can push through your feet.
Okay. And then,
and lift up your hips. It's a bit of a weird one. You just have to get used to it, but try to relax. Is it okay if I touch it? Try to relax your glutes. And we'll stay here for about a minute. And you can see already your legs your hips shifting and trembling a little bit.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's totally normal. Does it feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. Beautiful. Oh, that's so interesting, Jen.
And you can take a break.
Should I just come down?
Yeah, just come down, let your knees out.
Just like this?
Yeah, just like this. And again, go back to your breathing. Does it feel okay that you're trembling right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because if you want to break, you can extend, but
No, it feels nice. It doesn't feel like too intense at all. It feels quite gentle.
yeah, that's great. That's great. That's kind of what we want. Am I okay sitting here too?
Yes.
This feels good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel very supported.
Okay, good. So once you're ready, you can lift up your knees to about 2 inches. Not
like,
yeah, just like this. Yeah.
okay.
Perfect. Let me see here. Yeah, the tremor starts usually. How does this feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Not too much. Like a little bit more than the last one.
Okay.
I feel like it has a different rhythm too, which is interesting. But yeah, it still feels like within the range.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can lift up your knees a little bit more, 2 inches again. So that's a fascia release right there.
Yeah.
When there's the contraction and then the release. Yeah. That's just your tremor trying to move and release what needs to be released. There we go. Does that feel okay?
Yeah, feels good.
Very nice. I find when I have big releases like that using my breath is really helpful.
Right, yeah.
If you want to try that, just a suggestion.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't even realize you start to hold your breath.
Yeah. You can lift up your knees just a little bit more. And if your ankles are dirty, you can put your feet flat because you're already quite activated.
It feels good, actually.
Good.
This position.
So we're going to try and tremor for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that we take breaks because that's where you integrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a good time to take a break is when you start to feel that fatigue.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or if you emotionally you feel a little overwhelmed, or just your body feels tired.
Okay.
Sometimes after big releases as well, you want to take a break. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great job. If you feel that it's not stopping and it doesn't feel great, you can flex your feet. Yeah, integration is super important. What are you noticing?
I think just like generally like just more connection with my body. I definitely already do feel a deeper sense of groundedness. I can also at the same time still feel where there's like points of tension.
What are those points?
Definitely like in the coccyx
Okay.
and like sacrum area.
Would a pillow feel comfortable underneath?
It doesn't feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's just like an awareness of like, oh, I'm holding things
Okay.
in that space. It's now there's awareness there, and I can feel it like pushing against the door. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
it does.
I want out.
Yeah. Well, what we can do is when you go back into the tremoring, bring your attention there.
Okay.
And that usually helps move things.
And then what, do I go back into it now? Or?
So whenever you feel ready, but
Okay.
if you feel ready, you just bend your knees and try with your feet flat on the ground. It might be a little bit more comfortable. And sometimes you just have to invite your tremor back in your mind's eye. Yeah. And let's bring your attention to your, there we go.
It's quite fun, like my inner child just went,
yeah.
like that connection back to your body in that way. It just is like, invite it back. Oh, and bring your, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's how connected we are when we actually allow it.
Beautiful. Nice. You're doing really great.
Thank you. So are you. You're guiding me through it beautifully. Thank you.
Aw, thanks.
Now I feel very supported and clearly directed through the process.
Thank you. And you can see the contraction happening as well, right? And then the release.
Yeah. Yeah, that feels good.
What are you noticing now that you've put your attention onto your pelvis?
I'm noticing the difference between the right and the left side. Oh, something just released that was really nice. And my right side is where my injury was. And I remember the secondary injury that formed through that was definitely through the psoas and so much holding in that area that was causing so much like back pain and hip pain. And so it's just, I feel like my energy is like kind of washing over that, like in a very nourishing way.
Nice.
Like I almost kind of forgot about that until now.
And when you have a release like that, let it happen. Don't try and control it. Your body might move in ways that you didn't know you could move.
Right.
Nice breath. Yeah, follow the movement. I would suggest to take a break. Those were big releases. Emotional support cat.
She 100% is that. When I was going through my separation with my daughter's father, this cat couldn't have come into her life at a more perfect time because my daughter was obviously going through so much processing, and she, like, this cat just goes towards that energy to transmute it. You know, whereas like some animals, like they can feel that energy and it scares them, they go away from it, or people in general. But so I'm like, this is a healing. She's a little healer. She just like goes straight towards it. So if my daughter was distressed, you know, it was just like meow, like would crawl on her. Yeah, and I could just see my daughter go like, oh, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you noticing in your body?
A bit more of a calm. I feel like connection to the field right now. Like more clearer than I have in a while, actually. So that's nice.
Beautiful.
Through like, and I feel it and see it through my body, which is really nice.
I heard stuff moving in your stomach as well.
Yeah, I feel definitely more openness through this area of my body.
Very nice. We have another 5 minutes to tremor. But again, take your time. No rush at all. If you need more rest, take more rest. noticing now?
Still just like kind of a heightened awareness of the difference between the two sides. Okay, it's like my body's trying to connect the two.
The tremor will take different forms, so that's normal to have like pulsing and shaking and stretching. Like those are normal things. Do you have any awareness on your upper body?
As soon as you asked me that, yes. But throughout the session, predominantly it's been the lower. There has been like this transfer of awareness that would like kind of dance up there, but like come back down into these lower regions.
Right. And we don't want to change it. I'm just bringing awareness.
Right. But as soon as you asked that, it was like, it was because my body was like checking in with that, and then I could feel the energy like transfer up there and come back down, and then my body was like, no, I like it down here right now.
And that's just perfect.
Especially because this is where I've been really struggling to bring energy and awareness into these lower parts of my body. I think because it's just been such a area of stress for me. So like being able to feel safe to connect with that lower part of my body this is a real gift. Thank you.
Of course. And keep following those stretches. Again, we don't want to control or change it, and just want to follow it. Does that feel okay?
Yeah, it feels so good.
There's some stuff happening in your tummy. Nice breathing. We have about a minute left.
Do I squeeze my hand?
If you feel like the tremor's still there, but if not, you can relax and you can have a few minutes to just rest. And I'll invite you, when you're ready, you can turn to one side if that feels comfortable. And I can put the blanket on you if you feel like you need a little support from that. Okay. Just take a couple minutes here. There's nothing to do. When you're ready, you can sit up, but no rush. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I could just lay here for the rest of the day.
What's that?
I said I feel like I could just lay here.
You know.
But I can't because we want to get to the doctor. The doctor.
Oh my goodness, she's so special. How do you feel?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's the difference between before we started to now on the level of like how grounded you are?
I feel like I'm now more appropriately probably a 7.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. It was a hopeful 7 earlier.
Yeah. And sometimes we think we are, and then we come to this practice or any kind of practice that you have to ground yourself, and you're like, was I being honest with myself? And sometimes we just don't know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're feeling more grounded. What about the aliveness? Do you feel a little less tired, more tired?
I think that's still there. Actually, I feel even a bit more tired, but I think that that's pretty normal. Like I said, there's part of me, like my daughter's going away next weekend.
Okay.
And there's part of me, and so like I just booked that whole weekend off because originally I was supposed to go too, and I decided not to. And I'm just gonna take that weekend to like, I told people I'm going away, like,
Great.
Because I just feel like I just need to be and like just really let myself heal without anything. So
that's great.
I can feel like, you know, that marathon I was talking about?
Yeah.
It's like almost like, just gotta get through the next week and then I'm on the finish line and then I can rest.
Right.
So even though like I can invite that in now and I know that, but I think like so.
Your head is still kind of racing a little bit and your body is still kind of in that fight mode until then.
Yeah, I think I just need like just a window of not needing to take care of anyone but myself for a few days.
Yeah.
Like no responsibility other than to me.
Yeah.
And then I think I can just like kind of get out of that response fully.
Yeah.
But I'm like getting there.
Yeah.
Even in it still.
For sure.
And this definitely was really, really, really helpful.
Nice. Awesome. What do you have for the rest of the day?
Just taking her.
Yeah.
And then just picking up my daughter. And I only have one client later today.
Okay.
So I only have 2 people today.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. I would suggest like take care of yourself because I think that you do, like the way that you're talking, you do need it.
Oh, for sure.
And you're taking care of a lot of people. So if there's moments
sure.
in your day that you can just sip on a tea or like take a bath tonight.
Yeah.
Anything like that, because your body went through a lot today. It just released, and you have big releases as well. And I find when I have those, it is a little tiring because there's so much that's moving. So yeah, just take care of yourself as much as you can, and whatever technique you have or self-care practices that you have, if you can. Lots of water, lots of nourishing food that you can eat.
I eat quite a bit of nourishing food. It's like I have everything meal prepped, so even my daughter's dinner is already made for tonight. So it's like tonight will be easy.
Yeah, watch a movie with your daughter or something, you know,
Yeah.
like just something really easy so that your body can integrate.
Yeah.
And just like process what it just processed.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's such a lovely modality.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I was like, oh, it's gonna be intense today, I don't know. But it was actually just like so gentle and juicy and just like, I'm sure there are sessions that can probably be quite intense, I imagine. But that was like just right for me today. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad. You're welcome. Well, we'll have 2 more sessions together.
Yay!
And they're all different.
Oh.
They're all different depending on where you're at and what your body's ready to release as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're responding so well. So
Yeah, it was cool.
Great.
I was like, oh, I was kind of like, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
You're like,
Totally.
my body's gonna do what? And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
And it was like instant.
Yeah.
It was very instant. Well, especially with the spinal flow that you do already.
Yeah.
You have a relationship already with your body moving in different ways.
Right.
And I can see the spinal flow actually happening as well while you were tremoring. So it's cool to see.
I know when you
Yeah.
start experiencing these different practices and how your body finds this marriage between like that language of all these different ways it heals and moves energy.
Totally.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, this is so cool to be connected to this type of somatic release and how natural it is for the body. And then I felt the flow too, and I'm like, and then this integration between this other practice that's so embodied in me, and how the two dance together, how that dance you spoke about with the nervous system, right? And it's so beautiful. I just love being in that state so much. Oh,
yay!
thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I'll
so
stop
good.
the recording.
Okay, and I should probably